So, so of course, the title, are they friends or foe? That's sort of a rhetorical question. So I'll let it be up to you to decide after we go through these features today on how well they get along, or if they're just really good acquaintances. For those of you who don't know, my name is Mellowdee Brooks, and I am an Assistive Technology Specialist with the Arizona Technology Access Program. And we are a federally funded program through the Institute for Human Development at NAU, but we're in Phoenix, and we provide free assistive technology services to everyone in the state, all ages, all disabilities. We don't sell anything. Our job is to educate folks and let them know what's out there and available to help them out. So we have a variety of services that do that, that includes training. So that's why we provide these free webinars and other trainings we do throughout the year. So if anybody, as I go along these features today, if anybody has any experiences that you'd like to share, or any comments, any questions, please put them in the chat box, and I will do my best to answer any questions or talk about anything that you've written in there. Also, today, my face, I'm up here a little bit on my webcam, but the rest of the presentation is going to be looking at my iPad, and that's going to be through a program called Reflector. It mirror images on the computer on my iPad. So it's great because the graphics are wonderful. The downside is that you can't see my finger. So you can't really see where I'm going. Of course, I'll tell you. But what I'm going to try to do, and I've never done this before, but I'm going to try to move my pointer on my mouse on the computer so you'll see where I'm pushing as well. So hopefully that will be helpful to you. Okay. So before we get started, because I'm not going to come back up to the webcam probably, I wanted to give you guys a little tidbit. I'm not sure if you know or not, but if you have a hard time using the keyboard in the iPad, in the operating system, and you need an external keyboard, but you don't have a Bluetooth, you can actually hook up a USB keyboard through what's called the camera connection kit, and you probably can't see it here, but it's a little adapter you can buy, and you plug this into your iPad, plug the USB into the other end, and then you can use an external USB keyboard. So just thought I'd throw that in there as well. Okay. Oh, thanks for putting the information about Reflector down there. Okay, great. So I guess we'll get started here, and I'll see if the reflector is going to work well. Yay, so far so good. The only drawback about this, though, is I can't see any questions either. So hopefully I'll look and see if anybody's got any questions as I go along here. So the most important thing I can tell you today is about a feature called Triple Click Home. This is very, very important because it's a shortcut for you to get in and out of about 5 different features, accessibility features, and 2 of them, VoiceOver and switch control, is very, very hard to get out of unless you do this Triple Click Home. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that is, and then I'll check to make sure nobody's got any questions. So I'm going to try to do this. Oh, there you go. So I'm going to go to Settings, and then Accessibility, And then I'm going to scroll all the way down to accessibility shortcut. So these are the 5 different areas that you can use for triple click home. That's sort of the nickname for it. Like I said, very important, especially if you're using VoiceOver or switch control. Just a second here. Okay. All right, hopefully everybody can still see me. If you can't, somebody give me a call. But, all right. So, VoiceOver is selected now. We're just going to keep that selected because it's a good place to start. I'm going to go back to accessibility. Sorry, I was up there. And I'm going to scroll down to VoiceOver. Now, what VoiceOver is, it is a screen reader for folks. It was developed for folks who were blind or low vision, but it can also work for people that have a learning disability of some kind, or ESL, ELL, you know, because basically it reads back to you everything on the screen. So it's a great feature. Can use with a variety of people. Now, if you ever get lost as far as the gestures, because the gestures here are different than the regular iPad gestures. As you can see under VoiceOver, you can, it tells you what to do here. It says tap once to select an item, double tap to activate the selected item, and then swipe with 3 fingers to scroll. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a demo first, and then we'll get into what some of these programming features do. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on here. Maybe. Okay. Now I don't know, hopefully you guys are going to be able to hear this. Just a second. I tried to hook it up to a Bluetooth speaker, but it didn't like my Bluetooth switch very well. So we'll try this. So I'm going to get out of here. And right now you can see that the messages is highlighted. And so if I flick with 1 finger to the right, it's going to start reading the different icons. I'm going to go back here and see if you guys can hear that or not. If you... Okay, good. You guys can hear it. All right. Okay. All right. So typically VoiceOver goes... Thank you, by the way, who responded. VoiceOver typically works from left to right, upper to lower. So Maps is highlighted right now. If I do it one more time, it goes down here to Clock. It also, I have a feature called Speak Hints, and what it will do is it tells me if I want to open it or if I want to close it or what have you, what to do. So whenever I go to Photo Booth, it's going to say, I'm going to let it rest for a moment, and it's going to say double click to open. Photo booth. Double tap to open. So I'm going to double tap it. Thing is though, you don't have to double tap on Photo Booth to open it. That's what's so great about VoiceOver, and that's why it helps people who are blind or visually impaired in particular, because you can double tap anywhere on the screen and that's going to open. Okay, well, we're going to get out of here, but at least that gives you a little bit of idea there. And then again, you have to have 3 fingers to scroll typically. So I'm going to, we only have 2 pages, but I'm going to take my 3 fingers and I'm going to scroll to the left, and that's what changes my pages. I'm going to go back. And actually, I went ahead and I clicked on FaceTime. If you have a vision impairment, though, and you can still see, but just not, really well, you can slide your finger over the icon, and it will read that icon to you. Like I'm just going to slide my finger over Settings, and it just tells me. So now, if I'm at the last icon and I want to change to the next page, I just flick to the right. It tells me that. Okay, so it tells me I'm in the page row, and if I want to change the page, I just swipe up. If I want to change it back, I swipe down. And so after a while, you get used to these gestures. But that's the basics of how VoiceOver tends to work. I'm going to go ahead and show you another something that's pretty cool. I'm going to go into Safari and going to double tap just somewhere on the screen to open. And we have our lovely homepage of our website here. So if I want to start reading, again, I just flick to the right. It's going over the top words right now. But say I don't want to go through all of those on the top row there. I want to get down to the text. What I can do is I can use my rotor and change the way it reads. So instead of going to left to right, I can actually have it scan downwards. It's, I don't know if you're familiar with rotor or not, but I'm going to put, and I'm not very good at it, so I apologize, but I'm going to take my two fingers, touch it to the screen, anywhere on the screen, and a little dial is going to come up. And so then I move my fingers until what I want to have it say or have it do comes up. So I'm going to scroll to vert navigation is what they call it on here, or vertical navigation.
Words, lines, speak containers, headings, links.
Oops. That was wrong.
To the right.
Hold on.
Controls. 8 form controls. Form control. Lines. Form control. Words. Lines. Speech rate. Containers.
Well, while we're going through these are all things that you can have a change.
Links. Form controls. Characters.
Well, if it had vertical control, you can actually program it to do that. Then we'll go back and we'll change that in a little bit. Just a moment. Rotor is not an app. It is a built-in feature in the operating system. And I'm going to show you where that is and all the different things it can do. So I'm going to try this rotor one more time. I know.
Words.
So like if you wanted to speak words, you could have it. This is VoiceOver, speak words.
Characters.
If you wanted to speak characters and so on. But like I said, vertical navigation will let you just go down the page and read each line.
Assistive technology. It includes thousands of
I'm cheating a little bit.
Disabilities to be more productive and independent in daily activities. Assistive technology products range from simple to complex and can be used at home, work, school, and in the community to reduce barriers and increase personal ability.
There we go. Just a second here. Okay. All right, so now I'll show you where all this programming for VoiceOver is. I'm going to get out of here, so I'm going to hit my home button. And then I'm going to go into, first I'm going to turn VoiceOver off for just a moment.
VoiceOver off.
Okay. See, that's nice. The triple click home was really nice. Go into settings. Oops. Go into settings and okay, so here's our VoiceOver. Here's where you can change the speaking rate. I would suggest that if you can see this, to do this without VoiceOver on, just to slide it. Oops, sorry. Just to slide it there, and then check it as you need to. So there's an area here where you can speak hints. That's where when I paused, it told me double tap to open. So it will let you know what you can do next. If you want to change the pitch, the sound effects, or use compact voice, basically make it sound a little bit better, you can do that. Down here, if you have a Braille Bluetooth device, such as a refreshable Braille display that's Bluetooth, you can set it up for that. And here's the infamous rotor. So hold on. Okay, so these are all the things that you can program that rotor to do. And I had forgotten to put in vertical navigation. There it is, though. But yeah, so you can either click or unclick things to put it in there or to keep it out of the rotor. Okay. All right. Just making sure nobody had any questions. All right, so I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to go back to VoiceOver. And then I'm going to scroll down. If you want to change the dialect of the English that you're using, you can do that. Different kinds of English, Australian, British, Irish. Okay, I'm going to go back to languages and back to VoiceOver. No, sorry, no Southern twang. But hey, you know, maybe you could do that with the pitch or whatever. Okay, navigate. Okay. Typing feedback is whenever you would type, you know, T and it would say T, H and it would say H. Speak notifications, you know, when there's a little error message come up, if you want that to speak, you can do that. And large cursor is actually nice. If you were able to see that little box that was around the icons when VoiceOver was on, it actually makes a nice thick box around it so you can see it much easier. So in a nutshell, that is VoiceOver. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to accessibility. And Zoom is a magnifier. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to, here again, it gives you instructions on how to use it. You double tap 3 fingers to zoom, drag 3 fingers to move around the screen, and double tap 3 fingers to drag and change zoom. So I'm going to turn that on. Woohoo! See, and it zoomed up. So now I'm going to put 3 fingers and just drag to where I want to see the screen magnified. There's a little bit of a delay through this Adobe Connect, but that's sort of how you do it. And then 3 finger double tap makes it go back down again. Okay, so we'll turn that off. Up here, I'm going to turn that off. There you go. Now I'm going back here to accessibility. I know I'm going a little fast, but wanted to make sure we got through all of these different features today. And let's see, Invert Colors is really nice. If all these, of course, is under Vision, category of Vision. Invert Colors, I'll turn that on. Oh, you don't see it at your side. Well, the white has gone to black, the black has gone to white, and then for the icons that have color on them, the color that shows up is opposite on the color wheel. So I'm sorry you didn't get to see that, but I guess Reflector doesn't allow that. Speak selection is really cool. So I'll show you a demonstration of that. It's already on. So I'm just going to go to Notes. And I've already have a little to-do list started here. Take out trash and wash car. So if I wanted it to read that to me, this isn't VoiceOver. This is just regular like text-to-speech. I click, I highlight it, I say select all, and then again, I'm sorry, you may not be able to hear this, but you can see now I have the option to cut, copy, paste, define, or speak. So I'm going to push speak.
Take out trash. Wash car.
So it talks to me. Also, if you didn't know a word, you could highlight that single word and then push define, and it would give you the definition. Although I wasn't able to make the definition talk, but it will come up. And I noticed that the 7 operating system did not have define, so I don't know if that was just my iPad or it really is something different with 7.1. But it's there. Okay, so I'm going to go back now to settings. And of course, speak auto text. So if you want any auto corrections, auto capitalizations read back to you, you can do that. Larger text. Let me click on that. So whenever there's an app that allows the text to be larger, that's when you can turn this on and change the size of the text. Not all applications might let you do that, but this is here if needed for those that will support that. I'm going to go back up here to accessibility. Bold text we're not actually going to do because I have to restart the iPad, but of course it will then give you bold text. Button shapes is pretty cool, and it is new with 7.1. So I'm going to show you what that does. As you can see up here, there's general, right? My little menu. If I turn on button shapes, see now look, it has a gray little pointer around it. So visually, it can be helpful to some folks. Okay. Now, increased contrast. The operating system 7 had this increased contrast, but you couldn't fine-tune it as much as you can now. You didn't have all these choices. So in reduced transparency, if you can't see it there, improve contrast on some backgrounds to increase legibility. You can turn that on and off. You can darken colors or reduce white point, which is the brightness of the display that helps some folks. And unfortunately, you can't really see that. It did work on my end, though. That's what that one does. Go back to accessibility. Reduce motion. You know, anytime something on your screen changes with animation. Oh, white point. I do actually get my messages up here, so that's good. Okay, so let me go back to white point. Increase contrast. White point. You know how you can, on a computer, you can dim the display or make it brighter? That's sort of what you can do with white point, although there's only one adjustment. And this is something, again, you can't see because my Reflector program doesn't allow it. But it will just make it the display a little dimmer, is what that does. I wish it had different settings, but it doesn't. I click on accessibility. So reduce motion, some people, you know, whenever you turn it to landscape or portrait, or you have some kind of a special effect, animations, you can just reduce that if you want. On and off labels, you have this, of course, the button, but then you have a little O. Thanks for sending out that link, John. John's been terrific. Thanks, John. He's up at IHD. So what you do is you turn this on. Hold on. And now you can see the little O's for on, or it's going to give you the straight line for off. You know, I don't know that people would really want that, but it's an option now. So whenever I turn it off, all those O's are gone, except for, well, you know, the O, yeah. So that's where you can adjust that if you wanted to. Under hearing, it talks about hearing aids, which I think is new in 7.1. So I haven't gone there yet. That's sort of scary. Let me look. Okay, never mind. So if you wanted to search for hearing aids for you, and maybe connected through Bluetooth for the hearing aids that have that capability, that's nice. Subtitles and captioning. Of course, this is only going to work if you have a video or something that has captions, but you can turn those on, and then you can change the style of the captioning. So it gives you a little example here. It's a little cloud picture that says subtitles look like this. But if you wanted to do it in large text, you could. Or you can create your whole new style and completely change the font, which is whatever works well for you. So that is where you can change your. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back again. And back one more time to accessibility. Also, some people have better hearing in their right versus their left ear. So if that was the case and you were wearing earbuds or headphones of some sort, you could turn this on right here, mono audio, and then have a left only or a right only channel. You can change the direction you would hear that. Okay. So now we're going to go to a feature called Guided Access. Let me just look at my notes real quick here. Sorry. See, if I had reduced motion on, that would help that. But make sure I haven't missed telling you guys anything. Also with hearing, a lot of people like FaceTime. That helps sometimes, especially, I've been told, you know, if you're using sign language, if anybody has a different opinion on that, you can let me know. But I understand that some people use FaceTime or Skype for using sign language. Okay, so I will now give you a demonstration, explain to you what guided access is. And it tells you here, but I don't know if you can see the print very well. Guided access keeps the iPad on a single app and allows you to control the features that are available. So in other words, if you've got a kiddo or somebody who they want to listen to music, but then they tend to go in, change the settings and everything, and then you get your iPad back and you have no idea what they did. This is a way to stop folks from doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And then you always have to set a passcode. It'll be real easy here. Don't tell anybody my passcode. Okay. Now this is also, the accessibility shortcut can be helpful. At this time, when I turn it on, accessibility shortcut, it's going to ask me if I want to use VoiceOver or guided access. It's not recommended to do both, to do more than one really keyboard shortcut or accessibility shortcut. But in this case, it's okay. Just keep that in mind as well. You only really want it to do one at a time. I'm going to turn that on. Okay. Then when I triple click the home button, it's going to start. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick demo. I'm going to go over to a communication app called Proloquo to Go. It's right here. Okay, so if I wanted to turn on guided access and I didn't want somebody who was using this to change the settings, I triple push my home button 3 times. And I'm going to tell it I want the accessibility options to be guided access. Tells me it started. So now what I can do is I can draw circles around things that I don't want anybody to change. Oops. Wait a minute, let me do this again. Guided access. Oh, there. Got to enter my passcode. Okay, now here it is. It sort of tells me what I can do as I go along. I had actually, let me go ahead and get rid of these. I'd set this up before when I was trying it out. Okay, so I don't want somebody to get into an area. I circle it. I don't know if you can see me. I'm down here circling things. So circle the keyboard. I'm going to circle the pencil and especially the settings area. Okay, so now whenever I push, I go up here, and sometimes we'll say start if you've never used it before, or resume. Guided access started. So now, if I want to go push the keyboard, oh, darn, it's not supposed to do that. Hold on just a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, well, that's the only thing that doesn't work today. I think I'll be okay, but the idea is then that the person can't get into those areas. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'm sorry, I'm going to go over here and push end. Phew, got out of there okay. Alright. Now we'll go back to settings. And I'm going to go backwards to accessibility. Alright. Now, switch control is a big thing. I'm going to wait on switch control, and we're going to just look at a couple of other things real quick, and then we'll come back to switch control, because that has about as many programming options, if not more, than VoiceOver. Assistive Touch, we'll click on there. And again, if you have a hard time reading this, Assistive Touch allows you to use your iPad if you have difficulty touching the screen, or if you require an adaptive accessory. So a lot of people use this when their home button won't work for some reason, but it's also very beneficial for people that have just a hard time pushing either the buttons, the external buttons like the volume up and down on the iPad, or they can't do a lot of the gestures that's required to operate, whatever apps that they might want to do. So I'm going to turn this on, and you see this little dot comes up here. So I'm going to click on that. And then from that little dot, I can use that as my home button. I can call Siri, because if I'm have a limitation clicking my home button and I want to get a hold of Siri, this is a way I could do it. If I want to change different things on my device, I can click there and I can rotate the screen, mute, volume up and down, lock the screen, all just from this feature. If I click on more, then I can do the screenshots, some shake, and some other things. So I don't physically have to shake it. Like there's an app, if you shake it, it will do certain things. So that's all in there. Now I'm going to go into favorites and show you how to make gestures. Oh, hold on. Somebody said something. If your device goes into sleep mode, can you still access the Assistive Touch button? That's a real good question. I don't, you know what? I'll try it out on my other iPad. Hold on. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I'm getting into my other iPad that I don't have set up with Reflector. But I'm going to go to Settings. I'm going to go to Accessibility, Assistive Touch, turn it on. And then I'm just going to let it sit there and go to sleep, and we'll find out. Okay. So now back to what we're doing here, Assistive Touch. So I'm going to click on the little button. I'm going to go to Favorites. This is where you can create your own gestures. So the example they always give you here is pinch. So if you have, you want to make that pinching motion to either increase or decrease the size of what's being shown on your display, you can just hit that and then move your one finger to one side. You just, well, it's supposed to do it. Okay, well, I'm going to make you one that's a lot better anyways. I'm going to go to Favorites, and I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to make a 3-finger swipe, because I don't know if you remember, but in VoiceOver, you have, if you want to turn from page to page, you have to do a 3-finger swipe. And so what if you have a physical limitation and you just have a hard time doing that? So the instructions here are to tap or swipe to create a custom gesture. So I'm going to take my 3 fingers and I'm just going to move it from one side to the other. And then it just followed me doing that. I don't know if you saw it, it was really quick. And then I'm going to click Save. And I'm going to name it triple finger swipe. Okay? By the way, I just use my microphone for dictation, which is really nice to use. Most people, the microphone's right there if you want to use that feature. I click Save, and now I have my triple finger swipe here. So I'm going to click on, okay, so I'm going to go back into Assistive Touch. My favorites, triple finger swipe. Now I have what looks like 3 fingers there. I just touch it and it swipes for me. So we'll do that again here where it can actually move something. Favorites. Okay, so I just touch with one finger. I'll touch like the middle one there, and it swiped, although I should have gone the other way. Hold on. I think you get the idea though. I should have gone the other way with the swipe because I don't have any pages in front of this one. So I'm going to go to my Assistive Touch. All right. Now I'm going to go back to Settings, Accessibility, General, Accessibility. Okay, of course here you can also, you have the home click speed, so sometimes people have a hard time, with the doing a double click or triple click home. They can change the speed at which they do that. And then of course we already asked about the accessibility shortcut. It says ask right now because I had it going with both the VoiceOver and the guided access. This is very, very important. I'm going to turn this to switch control now. So I'm going to go to the accessibility shortcut. I'm going to click switch control. Alright, going to go back to accessibility. Going to turn off Assistive Touch. Going to go back to accessibility. And here, right here, we have our lovely switch control. This was really awesome with 7, it came. Because I think that's one thing that we always mentioned. There was an issue with the iPads. It wasn't switch accessible. So I'm going to click on there, and this is where we find all the controls, a lot of them, for switch access. There's a couple different types of switches you can use for this. You can use a switch that plugs directly into the iPad, like a Perero. It's an external device that just plugs in and then you plug your switch into that, so it's a switch interface. Or you can use Bluetooth. I've had really, really good experience with Bluetooth switches. And so, of course, the first thing you have to do with that is set up your switch in the Bluetooth settings. You'd have to pair it. So mine should already be paired. I'm going to go up here to Bluetooth. And right now, there's my Bluetooth switch. It says it's connected because I've already paired it. For that, you would just have to look at the manufacturers, what their directions are to pair your switch. Okay, I'm going to go back to General and Accessibility. and then down to switch control. Okay. Now, you also, once you set up your Bluetooth switch, you have to tell it what you want the switch to do. So it has a 1 here under switches because I have one switch paired up with it already. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it is the RJ Cooper Super Bluetooth switch. And yes, thanks, John. Now, I've told it I wanted to tap it. I'm not really going to go in here because I, don't want to accidentally mess with anything. But it would find your switch. You would go in here. Then you would hit the switch. It would prompt you. Well, here's add new switch. It's an external one. And then if you had one, you push it, and then it would tell you to name it. And then after you name it, it also asks you how you want it, what you want it to do when it's activated. There's actually about 10 choices. But what you want to do for most of the things that I've run across is just tell it you want it to tap. The tap is in the line there. And that should work. Okay, so I'm going to go back to switch control. We're going to leave the demo for the last because when I tried to do another Bluetooth device with Reflector, again, it didn't play well with each other. So just in case it doesn't play well, I'm at least going to go through these programming options with you. Oh, hold on a second. That's the Perrero. John, if you could look it up, that would be great. It's the Perrero, I believe. There are other ones as well. That's just one of them. If you're ever interested in what's out there and available, you can contact us, and we'll give you the whole list of what we know that's out there and available. Okay. So auto scanning is when it automatically scans each icon or the area that you're looking at. And otherwise you'd have to do it each time you hit the switch, it would advance. So auto scanning is usually what people have it on. The auto scanning time, how fast it scans each item. How many loops? Some people only need 2 loops. Some people need more. As far as it's, after it scans everything there is to scan, all the different icons, it's going to start over again. So that's what the loop means. How many times it starts over. I don't have it on, so it's not going to let me go there at the moment, but you can adjust that pretty well. Let's see. Hold duration, how long you have to hold the switch, hold it down before it will activate. Ignore repeat, or if you accidentally hit the switch a couple different times really quickly, but you really only wanted to select it once, then you can change that there as well. Gliding cursor speed has to do with, I don't have an app like this, I don't think, but if you needed your cursor or your mouse to go really quickly like that, you can change the speed at which that happens. Sound effects, I guess you can turn those on or off. Let me just look here a second. Okay. Large cursor is really nice. Again, if you're visually impaired, you can make the highlighter large, and you can change the color of the highlighter as well. So that's the high points of the switch control. And now I'm going to try to see if this is going to work. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on here. Okay, so now it is scanning. You see the blue, hopefully you guys see that, the blue highlighting going across. So if I hit my switch at a certain point, sorry about that, it's going to select whatever I hit. Great, thanks. It's going to hit accessibility. It's going to highlight that. There you go. I just hit my switch. Woohoo! And it works! Yay! Hit the switch and okay, let's say I want button shapes. Oh, no. Anyways, so that is sort of how that works. Let me get back to accessibility. Now I'm going to turn this off just so I can make an adjustment and show you what the adjustments look like. So I'm going to triple click home. And now my scanning is off. Oh, darn it. So switch control. Okay, we'll turn that back on. Oh, fine. Sorry, let me turn it off. Okay. I'm trying to show you guys the large cursor. See, okay. So I've told it to do a large cursor, and instead of blue, maybe for whatever reason I like red better, I can make the highlighter red. Go back to switch control. So now I got a large cursor, got it red. Alright, so I'm going to triple click home again to turn it on. And now you can see my highlighter is nice, big, and red. Okay. I'm going to go down to General. Oops. I guess I should have quit while I was ahead. Okay, I'm going to triple click home to turn it off. Ah! All right. And so my time is almost up here. I'm going to go ahead and go back to me. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? I think I've answered them all. Oh, here's a handout also. It's very generic, but it gives you an idea of the things we looked at today. And there is also the survey down there. Please let us know what you thought of today's webinar. And if you have any questions that you think of later, please let me know. I know that this is very fast, but next time maybe I'll take more time, have more time to do this. You're welcome. Yeah, iPad would be nice. John, are we going to post the recording somewhere?
Yes,
I think so.
It'll be archived by tomorrow, and then we can disseminate the link.
Okay. Great, Eileen. I'm glad you were able to use an iPad. Oh, checking the other iPad. Yes, thanks. No, you do have to push on the button to get it to come back up. You're welcome, everyone. Oh, hi, Zandria. Now, if you guys would like to leave the webinar, not that I want you to, but all you have to do is hit that your red button on the top left-hand side and get you out of the webinar. Thanks, Tina. Yes, I think John's going to send out a link to folks about the recording. Best way to contact me is mellowdee.brooks@nau.edu. Be sure you... Actually, my name is spelled wrong. Oh, that's okay, though. It's Mellowdee. Mellowdee.brooks@nau. Great. Andrea, do you have a question? Okay, see you later. Bye-bye. Christine, are you still there? Have you seen people use FaceTime with sign language? Have you seen people using FaceTime who communicate using sign language? Okay, thanks. Bye, Bye.